And the last round with maybe our best opening hand so far. We draw a couple of lands. We can go 2, 3, 4, 5, slap on Sarah's wings on something. Seems pretty sick. This is a lot of my good cards, though. Could get our sapling migration syncopated here. I have a feeling saplings might end up one of the best decks, but also just one of the hardest ones to get. Something a little bit like Merfolk, where because I think a lot of the uncommons are payoffs. Some of the payoffs are uncommons, and I think this guy is probably extremely important to the deck being like very good. It's gonna be rough. Now themselves or me? Now me. I got a bunch of spells. Nothing too important. Would have liked to get the Ancient. I love this card. I think this card's actually going to see a little bit of constructed play. Divination. Opponent gassing back up. I will trade for the crab. 4-drop for 4-drop here, I think. Make my 5. Okay, doesn't want to. That's pretty fine with me. I can get in for 6. If they don't have a removal spell, I can put a 2-turn clock on here. I don't know if I want to do that against blue-black without seeing them use some resources first. They have Divination and I haven't played much yet. Ooh, they take an extra turn. Temporal Sundering. I think I will just double block if they attacked there. That's pretty sick. This is the card I passed. Maybe I should have taken it and tried to do something sweet with it. I was really cautious and just took what I considered to be the better card. Could have attacked with the 4-4 there, actually, before playing anything. Also could have taken the line of just giving the 4-4 flying and playing Llanowar Elf. There, we finally get an Eviscerate out, so they only have 2 spells left. We can still keep waiting, because Wild Onslaught's going to come down and do something. Yeah, I'm just going to do this and pass, I think. I want to see them use a bit more first. This could be a Syncopate for 3, which I can pay. So I don't think it's a Syncopate. Well, I think it might be a Syncopate because they've reconsidered now. That or they've just done a very elaborate good bluff. Which means we're going to try and set up for like an end of turn Wild Onslaught into a Sarah on Sarah's wings. That's not a bad draw. I think they forgot to do this last turn as well. Yeah, so at the end of next turn, a Wild Onslaught, they will probably counter it. Ooh, that's a good card. Just kill this now. Oh, hopefully they just try and kill this now. Nah, because then they can still Syncopate for 1. I'm going to try and save it in case they don't actually have Syncopate. Well, if they do, they get to Force Spike this card, which I think they do. And we're going to have to rely on Sarah's wings to get there. No Syncopate. Okay. That's pretty big, so we probably just have to win on board next turn. might actually give this flying, because this is like the only thing I don't want them to actually trade with. Realistically. Though no, this is bad, because if they have a removal spell now... Okay, this is a counter spell. So that was actually bad, because if they had a removal spell right there, they would get to kill the creature that's pumping my team. So I should have done it on something like Bard. Or maybe just this guy. If they want to kill it, let them. Yargo gets in front of the 5/5, I assume. Okay. Prioritizing what they want to kill. This is lethal, so they need to do something. Seven. This is still lethal. They only have blocks. All this is just very lethal. But they might now have like a spell. This looks like they have a spell ready to bounce the Talid. But that's still 6/8 damage, and we trade with their team. Oh, they're playing 4 like blink with an eye. Blink of an eye, I think. Okay, yeah. So slight mistake at the end of the game. Well, it could have been more costly. No reason to equip this. We should have done it on the big monster. But they would have just countered it. Sea Temple Sundering, good card, but they had their legend out. They got it on turn 6, and it didn't achieve that much. Kutch's Abolus probably would have been better for opponents in that game. I feel like the Fun Police telling you not to play the cool card from the new set. I think I'll risk getting a green source here. If we do Shepherds into Bard, seems pretty decent with a Wild Onslaught backup. Nice. Another decent 4-drop. Maybe also we should have we had the chance to have 4 of these in our deck, and maybe that's what our entire deck should have been about. This is probably slightly better than the Shepherd. It's guaranteed to get in for 1 next turn, and Shepherd can come down as a blocker. Not hitting our lands, but this is fine. They have another 3-drop to play, and they get to just draw a card, possibly with Disciple. Opponent just removed an island. If they don't need to draw lands, that's also just a positive. Get the attack with the team here. Get to give it a little sapperling flying. And if they block and just trade, I'll probably just let them and try and get an Avon Sentry out. And if they take it, I think, but either way, I would have tried to get Balat and not the Sentry out. They could just Syncopate, or we know they have the Wizard cancel. Then they just took damage this turn, didn't attack, didn't block. We have a bunch of other good threats in our hand. I don't think it's a big deal. There is an argument for leading with the Sentry, because while they're both good on the board, we get another Karn's Temporal Sundering. While they're both good on the board, Bailout obviously being a bit better, you rather have the Bailout still in the hand than the Sentry here, I think. Fifth land, does that change anything? Let's attack with both. I think I'll approach this if they block. Because we can go approach, or approach even, and Corsair this turn, and we get to maximize our mana. Not that this card's being too annoying, but this maximizes our mana. This also doesn't give opponent essentially a bunch of extra draw steps. Giving it -5, -5. Okay. And we can still get in for 2 here. Of course, our next turn, we're up on cards. We're definitely up on cards, even if the last 2 are spells. Gonna mill us. That could just be good with our mending here. I could play mending and try and grind out the game, but they only have 1 card left. They didn't even mill themselves to go with the folly. Like, they could have got one of their bombs off the folly. That's not great, so I'm just going to put on some flying pressure here. We have 5 in the air. Then possibly next turn we could mending, or we could just give all the guys +1/+1. We get in for 4, 6, 8 and put them on a 2-turn clock. Now I might play the mending. Get a 2-drop back, especially if I draw a land. I went bottom. Okay, Reproach changes my mind, I think. Because I can grow Reproach plus Bard as well. They block the 3/2, they take 2, they go to 11, Reproach kills their guy. Okay, Reproaches have actually been quite good in these games. Okay. They're trying to play around combat tricks, but they get hit by a second Reproach instead. Understandable opponent trying to get around tricks. Though if they're trying to get around tricks, I'm not sure why they're not blocking the 1/3. Because then they can use a trick on it, but it saves it from combat, but that doesn't mean too much. So, can I kill them this turn? 3, 4, 6, 8. I can, because I can give this flying. I don't need to stop playing flying. Four, 7, 9. Xaxes. Okay, 2-1. Got a little bit of my cash flow back there. We'll look at the deck again before we go. We had some powerful cards, but as we saw when we didn't draw some combination of like our marquee cards, our On Sarah's Wings, our Voice of Plenty, our Sapling Talid was a Spore Count Talid was very good. Of note, I think this is like a really high pick in green, because I think if you can get like multiple of them, you can have an insane deck. It's very easy to pick up migrations and stuff. While the Onslaught, I think, performed well. It's 8-mana mode, not coming up that often, but setting up favorable trades with 4-mana mode was not that hard. And maybe it becomes worse the more people play around it later, but at the moment it seems kind of good. I didn't get to show you the grinding power of Mending of Dominaria. That also pairs pretty well with Onslaught, where you go Mending, you know, get back a Shepherd, get back a Courser, play some mediocre Dorkers, all of a sudden get like 2 or 3 lands back, and I have enough mana to Wild Onslaught for the full kicker. I will put a couple more drafts on the channel. I'm enjoying the format, though some of the cards, like we saw the Dragon in round 1, are insanely strong and hard to beat. But at the moment, it's still a lot of fun, and I'm still discovering it. We'll do a couple more intermediate leagues and put them up on the channel. Till next time, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your gaming.